Thanks for stopping by the channel, guys. So today I was talking with a coworker and we were talking about our hobbies outside of work. So I pulled up our YouTube page and was showing him some videos. And what I realized is I haven't made a video showing any sort of progress for the last 2 to 3 months. So over the past couple months, I've worked on several projects. I've taken a couple of Matchbox Hot Wheel type trucks and overhauled them, rebuilt them to make some maintenance away vehicles. I did a couple batches of box cars where they were total rebuilds. Some of them were from kits that I had that I assembled, repainted, re-decaled. I'll show you the rest of the progress on the layout as well. Who's here? Come here. How are you? You want to watch some trains run? Yeah.
So first up, I purchased a couple of Matchbox trucks. I wanted to build a couple of service trucks for the layout. So this first one I took apart and painted the interior all black, and then I painted the bed, and using styrene I added a few more details, and then here it is up on the layout. It may get more detailing down the road, but it works for now. The second one here, I took apart, blacked out the windows. It does not have an interior. And then I built a whole new bed out of styrene, and I added some welding cylinders and a welder and all the detail stuff in the back. And this works out pretty cool up on the layout to add a lot more detail to a scene. So these turned out great. So next up, I've been working on box cars and doing some weathering. Most of these are Athearn kits, blue box kits. And I've added a few more details with some of the stirrups that were missing, some of the ladders. But going through, repainting, rebadging a few of them, and then doing the weathering and detailing. I put together a couple of Detail West kits that I picked up at a train show a while back, and did them in the rail box scheme, and then just roached them out, I guess, to give them some authenticity. I'm pretty pleased with the way these ones turned out. This was my first go at doing heavy weathering, and they look great in the yard. So in the past couple months, I've probably made between 100 and 150 trees using a couple different methods. Hobby Lobby's had these little Christmas trees that I cut the base off and repaint them, add some flocking, and then I've used the wire and sisal method for a bunch more of these, and then paint them and add some flocking. I'm going to need several hundred more to get the layout to where I want it to be ultimately. So I did some work on my raging river kind of scene I got here. I wasn't exactly sure how to do this, so I just kind of jumped in with both feet. I put a little dark color right where the photo backdrop is going to meet the scenery, and then I used some dark green to paint a tree line onto the backdrop, and kind of try to blend things together. Again, this was all me just trying to figure it out. I used some ground foam where the scenery met the backdrop, and then I started adding some of the trees that I made. Ultimately, I'd like to add more trees to really finish this off, but the overall effect when I'm done is pretty convincing. It turned out pretty cool. For the stream or river bottom, it's just plaster, and then I use some ballast and some larger scale rock in there as well to kind of define the channel. And then I just use some apple barrel paints to kind of get the base color I wanted. For the water, I just used a hot glue gun, and I ran out some strings of hot glue on some parchment paper. And then once I was happy with it, I cut them to fit and laid them in to the stream, and then used the heat gun to form them to the shape I wanted. And then I just used my airbrush and a couple different blues and white to give the final effect. And then once I was happy with the paint, I hit it with a couple coats of gloss Mod Podge to give it that kind of wet look. So here's a shot of a train running over the finished product. So here in my inlet kind of water scene, I added some more scenery material, including some cattails, and it really kind of takes this scene to the next level with the detail. But here's a shot of some trains running by, and it gives you a totally different perspective. So I'm real happy with the way this turned out.
So I got online and I was looking around for some paper models of shipping containers, and I found these, and I'll link the site that I found them on. But I printed them out on some cardstock paper that I purchased. I purchased a package of, I think it was 50 sheets at Hobby Lobby. It cost me like $10, but I printed them out on that. It was a little bit more heavy than regular paper, and then I cut them out and I used just my hobby knife, and I used some 1/4-inch foam core board to make the bottom, and they're pretty rigid. They didn't cost me hardly anything. These are a few of them that I've done, and then here's a few more that I've done, and these ones I went through and did a little bit of weathering to them. And let me see, here's some more that we used some paint pens to do some patching work, some more rusting work. But I built 2 boxes worth of shipping containers, and these will be great for the layout to have. And they cost me $10, and it took me a few evenings to work on these, but not that big a deal to get a whole bunch of shipping containers. I'm not anti the plastic shipping containers, because I have about a dozen of those as well. This was a cost-effective alternative, but also when I have my grandson playing with me, if he drops one of these or breaks one of these, no big deal. He can be handsy with these all he wants, and if they break, I'm out cents on the dollar, so no big deal. These are going to be far more user-friendly for having my grandkids, or really nieces, nephews, that kind of stuff, to be able to have them come play. So anyways, I got 2 boxes of them, more than enough for me.
So here's a couple photos showing some of the shipping containers out on the layout. It's a easy way to add a ton of detail for not a whole lot of money. Hey, if you guys are interested in seeing any more detailed videos on building these shipping containers, or doing the maintenance away trucks, or the way I do trees, drop a comment. Let me know if you would like to see a featured video on that kind of build stuff. If you're interested, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. This is kind of what we do. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy railroading.